You want to build a profitable content business, but I think you also want to make an impact. If you have ever felt like you are the Erin Brockovich or the hidden figures of the movie of your own life, there has never been a better time to get on YouTube. But if you want to turn a cold viewer into a warm viewer, growth hacks are not going to do that. You need good storytelling. The creator economy is worth $250 billion. That is billion with a B. And it has allowed creators just like yourself to build profitable, highly profitable, one-person businesses that allow them independence and control over their life and career. It's extremely appealing. But if you want to inspire others, storytelling is the tool that allows you to do that. Hi, I'm Daryn. I am a content producer and creator who got started here on YouTube. I created episodic content. I ended up winning a Writers Guild Award for it. I worked on projects that have won Emmys, and then I started my own six-figure content business and have produced thought leadership content for a lot of major companies and brands. And I think that I can be very helpful for you to find the storytelling that is going to make an impact so you can have the content business that you're dreaming of. Impactful content can be a slow burn, but it also can be very powerful. And it can create a very strong connection between you and your viewer. So here are a few quick wins that you can get by improving your storytelling. One immensely powerful tool is cognitive dissonance. And according to Google, cognitive dissonance is a psychological state of discomfort arising when a person's belief or actions conflict. This internal conflict creates tension and motivates individuals to reduce the discomfort by changing their beliefs, actions, or perceptions of the situation. Contradiction. I was inspired by this one by Ed Lawrence, a creator who has a great channel. I've kind of been binging on his content, and he brought up the idea of cognitive dissonance, and it really stuck with me. If you can hint that your video will get your viewer to rethink something that they assume, you will get a watch. Start with emotional provocation, some eye-opening misconception that is holding them back. Then if you can get that viewer to change that one belief, then you have given them a win. And they're likely to come back and watch more videos because you have changed their life. If you're like me, thumbnails and titles have been a little bit of a mystery, but I have come to think that we're doing it all wrong. It has taken a lot of experimentation, but what I have realized about thumbnails and titles is that is actually where your storytelling begins. And April Lynn Alter has a fantastic video on thumbnails. It is the best video on this topic on YouTube. It goes into all of the artistic choices that one can make and the thinking behind it and what has worked for other creators. I learned a lot from that video. Another creator that really helped me grasp thumbnails and the storytelling within thumbnails is Virginia Kerr. She had a great video where she redid people's thumbnails and titles, but I also have my own take on the subject. A lot of people talk about the opening 30 seconds or so of your video being your hook. I think of your thumbnail and title as the teaser. So if you're watching a television show, usually there's some teaser at the top of the show, some crazy thing that happens that is very emotionally charged and it gets you hooked on the show, and it gets you very curious about what's going to happen. It usually leaves some open-ended question in your mind that you have to resolve, and so you're going to watch the rest of the show. And usually after that teaser happens in a television show, things kind of slow down, that pace slows down, and they get into setting the world and setting the characters. But they couldn't just open with that because they needed the provocation that happens in that teaser. And that is what I think your thumbnail and your title is. It is that emotionally charged provocation. And that's why you always see a lot of thumbnails that have like very expressive faces, because it is the teaser when everything is heightened and everything is a little crazy and emotionally charged. And you also see a lot of emotionally charged words. Your viewers should have questions that need to be resolved from your thumbnail and title. In fact, play with cognitive dissonance in your thumbnail and title and to see if that improves your click-through rate. A lot of people come to YouTube for a transformation, and your channel should focus on the big transformation, the big life transformation. Each video should focus on a small transformation, and you should be trying to give your viewer at least one quick win, at least one aha moment in each video. One way to do this is to weave your own personal stories and experience into your videos. So instead of your videos feeling like a lecture, they feel like a conversation in which you're sharing your experiences. This is what worked for me, and maybe it will work for you. Evelyn Weiss, who is one of the most successful creators on the school platform, educational community platform, if you're not familiar with it, she described this as reporting from the inside. And I had to write that down because I thought that was really well put. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to report from the inside. I learned how powerful that can be early in my career when I worked on a documentary series called Makers. And the filmmaker behind that had a very specific approach to her storytelling that really made an impact on me, because she didn't build her documentaries by thinking of them like a history lesson where she's reporting on fact after fact after fact. She got these incredible women, I mean, iconic women like Oprah Winfrey and Gloria Steinem, and incredible women across the last 50 years of history, to tell their stories and their experiences in their own words. And it made the stories so much more powerful, and the experience of this documentary so much more powerful. I served as the programming director on that program, and that was really interesting because it had many components to it. It had the TV documentary that aired on PBS, but it also had a video platform where these videos were repackaged into short form videos. And then there was the social media content strategy. And then there also was a big live events series. And so I had to think about the content strategy and content execution that would connect all those universes. I led what ended up becoming the most successful social content activation in AOL and PBS history, and I'm very proud of that. But I think a large reason for that success is that hearing these women tell their stories and their experiences in their own words is extremely powerful. So tie your journey and your goals to your viewers' journey and their goals, and they will have a very strong emotional connection with you, and your content will be very powerful. So I hope that was helpful for you, and maybe you had an aha moment. If you would like to have more aha moments and learn more about how storytelling can impact your content, I recommend you click on one of the videos that YouTube is recommending for you. Until next time, keep creating, and I will see you soon.